Hello, 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 you guys. It is time to get cracking on Christmas. Thank you guys for joining. Maybe you can chime in the comments where you're joining from. It has been a busy day. I taught my Tropical Vibes class all day, had so much fun. You'll have to excuse any green ink you see on my nails. I wanted to just quickly explain what Get Cracking on Christmas is, and then I'll flip the camera and we will get creating. So basically, a couple years ago, I noticed I was sending less and less holiday cards. And the reason was I kind of would put it off till the fall months to create my cards. Fall's really busy. I teach a lot of classes. There's holidays. I just feel like there's a lot going on. And so it just would stress me out. And so I just started sending less and less to the point where even one year I sent no holiday cards. And it just kind of bummed me out because I obviously love making cards. I love getting cards. And I love buying new stamps to make cards. I am addicted to snowman and snowflake stamps. So if there's a cute snowman, cute snowflake out there, I need to own them. And so I just came up with this idea with a few of my friends where we would challenge each other to just make one holiday card a month. And I was like, well, if I'm going to make a card, I might as well post it on my blog. And then it's kind of snowballed from there. So this is the third or fourth year of Get Cracking on Christmas. Every month on the third Thursday of the month, I share a holiday card. I also have some crafty friends that join in as well, share some fun inspiration too. And this month is Christmas in July. So there's actually giveaways. In the pinned comment here in the chat, and then also in the description of this video, I have a link to my blog post. On that blog post, you'll see the details about my giveaways. I actually have two. And then you'll see links to all of my crafty friends who are sharing this month and also have giveaways. So I definitely encourage you guys to check that out after tonight's live. Everybody's giveaways are running different times, different time frames. So just be sure to check it out soon. Also, on that blog post, I link all the supplies that I'm using tonight. So if you are Janabled to need anything, you can find the links there. I also just want to point out, every month I'm coming on YouTube Live and sharing how I created my card. Hopefully sharing with you guys some tips and tricks, get those creative juices flowing, or maybe give you a little bit of a light bulb moment where you're like, oh, that's a great idea. But also, I hear time and time again, I don't have enough time to craft. I don't have enough time to make cards. Well, guess what? There are 30 of you here with me right now tonight, and I really encourage you to grab some paper, grab some stamps, stamp out some images, and just color. It doesn't have to be holiday. It doesn't have to be with any set idea. You're going to be watching me, hopefully, and you can watch and also create some of your own cards at the same time. I also completely understand it's Friday night. We've all had a long week, and if you just want to watch me, that's okay too. But I just wanted to kind of give you that little push and hopefully inspire you guys to create as well. If you do create anything tonight, even if it's just coloring, be sure to share it with me on social media. I would love to see what you're working on. All right, I'm going to flip the camera. Enough of all my face. I'm going to flip it to my desk. And these are the cards that I'm going to show you how I am making them. Basically, I wanted to give you guys, well, first of all, snowmen, right? I have also, the other thing about Get Cracking on Christmas is it is inspiring me to use sets that I have purchased and not used yet. I actually keep my supplies separate. Any stamp sets that I purchase, that I haven't inked up yet, they live in a separate bin before they get filed away with all the other stamps. So I have a section of holiday stamps that I haven't used yet, and that's what I pull from for Get Crackin' on Christmas. It also makes me feel okay when I buy new holiday stamps because I'm using my stamps more. I'm just checking out the comments. I love how there's a few of you guys hopping over from class today. You guys have your green fingertips like me. Lynn says they're like Christmas trees, so it's perfect. I love that Lee is coloring unicorns while she's watching. Awesome. So happy to hear that. And thank you all for joining. I really, really appreciate it. So I am going to share with you guys tonight. I was thinking, well, when we're making holiday cards, a lot of the times we want them to not be super complicated. And it'd be nice if we could create a stack of them in a fairly reasonable amount of time. I'm not saying it has to be like 100, but maybe you want to make 10 of the same card and you want the process to go by a little bit faster. Layering stamping is a great way to do this because it doesn't involve any coloring. Now, again, I was just teaching a class all day today, Tropical Vibes, and we spent like the first hour and a half of class coloring. I love coloring, but it can take up a lot of time. And again, when you want to make a stack of cards, that might not be the best option for you, right? So I am using this adorable layering set from W+9. It's called Most Wonderful. And by the way, the owner of W+9, Dawn, is the sweetest, and I love her, and I miss seeing her face. But it comes with some of the layering stamps. It also has a layering bird that I didn't use on my cards and a layering tree. I love these sentiments, and I did use a few of them on my cards, and they're just a ton of fun, right? We're also using this script piece stamp, and then this is also piece banner die. So it comes with the word piece that you could die cut out of cardstock that you see I did here. It comes with a backing layer. That's what I used to color out of the gold cardstock. And it also comes with a cute little banner that little sentiments will fit on. So this is 2 separate pieces. I just am going to store them together when they go into the land of organization. So let me get started by sharing with you guys my tips on how to do some quick layer stamping. Then I'll show you guys how I did my washi backgrounds, and we'll get 3 cards made fairly quickly. All right. Yeah, Dawn is awesome. Deanna is coloring Design Team Secrets. Ooh, would that be the rabbit hole designs, Deanna? Lynn is finishing bonus cards from class earlier. I love it. Can't wait to see your cards. All right, so the trick with layering stamps, and I'm actually just going to first demo with the Christmas tree because I have everything else already set up to share with you. So the trick with layering stamps is lining them up, right? And that is the part that could take a little bit of finagling. So if you were just to stamp, and I'm just going to grab an acrylic block. I'm going to put one of the stamps on one side and the other on another side. So if you were to go ahead and just stamp, and I'm just going to use a Distress Oxide because it's a nice pigment dye ink that I know will stamp nicely. So we've got the solid right there. And then the detail. Oops. And we'll see how I do. Right there. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Pretty easy to line them up with an acrylic block, right? Or even your Misty. But another way, and I meant to wet my stamp chamois, it's dry from class earlier. Hold on 1 second. I'm just gonna mist it with my distress sprayer. Because I know I'm gonna need to clean stamps soon. All right. Distress sprayer to the rescue. So, but the tricky part is if you wanted to make a lot of cards and you wanted them to look nice, right, and lined up, it does take some time to line up each layer. And if a stamp has a lot of layers, okay, for instance, this little guy right here has his body. He has 2 steps to his mittens, 2 steps, actually 4 steps to his hat, and 2 steps to his scarf. That's a lot of lining up, lining up, lining up. So my trick and my idea for you guys is hopefully the set comes with, or the option of, getting a coordinating die. So for instance, I am going to die cut this tree. But I'm first going to grab some scissors. Sorry, my drawer is blocked by my water bottle cup holder. Let me just go ahead and cut this off. Stick with me. I promise this will make sense once I get it done. So I am going to take my Christmas tree die, put it into place, and we are going to die cut it. Nothing fancy about this. I'm just using the little mini Altenew Blossom machine. I love this thing. I use it so much, especially with all my little critters and stuff that I cut from Lawn Fawn. All right, so we have our die cut shape and our open shape. We definitely want to keep track of both of those. Okay. And then we get a stamping platform. I'm going to use a Misty, but you can use any stamping platform that you would like. I'm going to flip over my cardstock. And actually, hold on 1 second. I meant to die cut 2 trees. And this is just Nina cardstock that I'm working on. This part doesn't matter. We're setting up a template. So, for instance, my snowmen for my cards are on Distress White Heavy Stock, which is just a really nice 130-pound bright white cardstock that I love. And since I wasn't really doing any coloring or anything, I just wanted to use that cardstock, so it was a nice weight. All right, now we're good. So what we're going to do is we have a piece of cardstock in our stamping platform. And we have our 2 layers to our Christmas trees, right? I'm just putting them in here. Of course, it doesn't really matter, just for the demo. But it looks like my right one is the solid and my left is the detailed one. So I am going to ink up, and luckily it's easy enough to just ink both at the same time. And we're going to stamp this down. Okay, so we have our images stamped. Just going to wipe them off so we don't get ink anywhere. Now what you're going to do is take this die cut piece, and you really only need the frame of it, so you can cut any extra cardstock off. And I already have the Snowman one all set up, so I'm just showing you guys how I got to this process. And I am going to grab a little washi tape. And what you're going to do is take your frame and line it up over your stamped image. Okay? Oh yeah, I always have tape all over my die cut machine. Always, always. Hi Pamela, hi Carrie. Yay, let's get cracking, Kathleen. Let's add to that stack of cards. So I'm just lining this frame up around the tree. Of course, we know there'll be a nice little white border. And then I'm going to line up this other one around the tree as well. All right. And so now I have both of my frames in here. So we know we're going to want to do the solid stamping first. So you're just going to put your die cut piece into that space and go ahead and stamp away. If it doesn't stamp perfectly the first time, you can stamp it again. It stuck to the stamp. But now we have step 1. Then we'll move it over here to do step 2. Super cute. And look, all done. Cute little Christmas tree. And you don't need to spend time trying to line up every single layer. I'm just going to get some of the stuff out of the way and turn my Misty. And again, I'm just going to quickly do one more since I already have the tree cut out. Stamp 1. It's nice to have your tweezers to pick up the stamp piece, which I don't need to do because it's over here. I thought it was stuck in there. And then we're going to use the next color to stamp the next. And again, every single time, you're going to have perfectly lined up images, however many layers there are. Yay! Thanks for coming, guys. So, setting that aside, let me just clean my stamps off and toss this Misty aside. What I did is I have already set up a Misty with most of the steps for the snowman. All right. And I thought it would be fun tonight to do some different color combos for his hat and his scarf and his mittens. I'm going to grab a couple oxides that I forgot to grab. And I'm just stamping with Distress Oxides because I don't have a lot of pigment ink pads personally. And for the layering stamps, your layering stamps are going to stamp a lot nicer with a pigment ink because there's a lot of solid to them. So they're going to stamp nicer with that pigment ink. I'm just looking because, oh, here we go. I was like, I made little kits ahead of time. So I'm just going to grab out my already cut snowman pieces. Right? I got 3 little snowmen here. And so what you're going to do is just work your way around the Misty. So I'm going to put a snowman in here to do his body. And on my blog post, I did share all of the coloring, all the colors that I use to do all of my stamping. But for instance, for the body, I did some pretty fun colors. Like this is the milled lavender, which I thought was really fun and different, right? Then we have weathered wood. Okay, nice little gray, cool gray. And then I also did pumice stone. So just some fun, different ways to stamp him. Hello, Jen, or hello, Ms. Nickerson. I love that that is what your handle is coming at, my friend Jen. All right, so I'm going to start with the milled lavender one. Again, there's enough space between these images that you don't have to worry about getting ink on another stamp. I'm going to lift that up, clean it off, and then I have my tweezers just to help me take my image out. So there is the body. We're going to move it over to the next area. So this is stamping. I just want to look again. The solid part of his hat and his mittens. His hat and mittens are always going to match on this particular set. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm going to do... I'm not going to really switch up the colors too much tonight because my brain is fried, but I'm going to do Salvage Patina. Shocker, right guys? The first color I dive into. Perfect. I'm going to pick this up and move it down to the next area. I also liked using the Distress White Heavy Stock for this because it is 130 pound. It has a nice thickness to it, so everything's kind of sitting in really well into these little templates. So for the detail on his hat and mittens, I'm going to use peacock feathers. Are we so excited, you guys? Tomorrow at noon, Tim is going to announce the new distress color. I can't wait. I have swatches to share with you guys and a fun project. All will be posted on my website tomorrow. But look how cute, right? So easy. You could sit here and make a bajillion snowmen, a bajillion of them. Yes, tomorrow is the new Distress Ink day. All right, for his scarf, let's go ahead and do purple. My friend Jen is watching, so we'll do a little purple in her honor. I'm going to do the solid part of the scarf with shaded lilac. This is also a great way to use all your inks and justify having them all. So cute. And then, I don't know why I put it back in that one. We're going to move it down the row. And for the detail, we'll use Wilted Violet. Oops. Just wipe my hands off. Yay! Glad you guys are excited to see the new color. It's always fun, right? And it's always like, do I really need that color? And then you start seeing it being used. That's why I started sharing my swatches, because I think sometimes seeing the color on its own, you're like, oh, that's just like, or like, you know, salvage patina. Oh, that's just like peacock feathers. Well, no, it's not. All right. Look how cute. Okay. I'm not going to do any of the nose and faces. I'll explain that in a minute. But then, oh yeah, we have the pom-pom on his hat. And so we're going to go back to salvage patina for that. Love it, love it, love it. But can you guys see how easy this is? This is also something you could do with, you know, any of your kids or grandkids, because it's so easy. It stamps perfectly every time. Purple all the things. So the detail on the pom-pom hat is just a teeny little stamp. Let me see here. So I didn't bother setting that up in the Misty. I was running out of space for templates, and you could most certainly use just a second Misty or whatever, but it actually is pretty easy to just line up the detail of the hat. So I'm grabbing peacock feathers and you just line up the base. But again, if you were doing a major mass production, you might want to line it up, right? So the other thing that we have to stamp on here is the eyes and the mouth and the buttons down the belly. So we're going to use that same milled lavender. You could use something different if you wanted, but, and that's super easy to stamp. So cute. And then last but not least, we've got a little two-step carrot nose. And again, if you wanted to, you could most certainly set these up as templates like I was doing. I'm trying to think which one. I think this one will stamp the lightest. But for today's purposes, I didn't want to dig out another Misty. So wild honey, and then a little spiced marmalade. And I found no matter which way you stamp the nose, it looks wicked cute no matter what. I mean, come on. Look at that. Adorable. Hello, Rebecca. All right. So I'm going to leave my oranges out because we're going to have more noses to do. And we're just going to quickly do 2 more snowmen. Again, just to kind of show you how quick this process can be. So again, I have my 6 templates. I'm going to start with the body. And this time I'm going to use weathered wood. Go ahead and stamp that. Nice gray. I'm going to go over to do the mittens and the hat. Trying to just use colors that I have in front of me. So this time I think I'm going to use, let's go ahead and use Twisted Citron. He is the coolest. I love him so much. Hi, Kathy. And now I'm going to move this right over. Clean my stamp. And we'll do a little mowed lawn. So cute. I'm actually going to move him up and do his pom-pom now. Why not, right? Why not? So we'll go back to Twisted Citron. What I also love about this, you guys, is if you're really tired, you've had a long day, long week, this really doesn't take any, once you get the template set up, it doesn't take any thought, really. It's super, super easy. You don't have to think too hard, which is nice sometimes, right? Just move. We'll do the detail on that. Look at him. I mean, right? So cute. Let's do some pinks. Pinks for his scarf. Did I clean that? No, I didn't. There we go. So I'm going to use Kitsch Flamingo for the solid part. This set is from W+9, Rebecca. I love it. Love it, love it. It's been in my stash for a while. I'm not going to admit how long, but he is still available, and I linked him up to Simon Says Stamp on my website. I was actually really pleasantly surprised to see he was still available. It's been that long, but we've all been there, right? So now I'm using Picked Raspberry. I keep forgetting to use my tweezers. And there we go. So cute. So cute. So now I will do his nose and his eyes and all of that fun stuff. So we'll start with his eyes. And I also love how you can kind of move the eyes and stuff in a different way. So like it lines up differently. And then we will go ahead and do his little nose. The nose could be the same as the buttons and eyes and stuff if you wanted, because it's technically not a carrot. I guess if you're looking straight on, it could be. But I wanted to just add in a little bit more color, so that's why I decided to do it orange. So we've got 2 little snowmen done. Now we'll do our third. Kathy says, oh, funny, I assumed it was a new set this year. Oh. Nope. Giving away all my secrets. He's been in my stash. I can't remember if I bought him last year or the year before. There, I just confessed. So this time I'm going to use pumice stone. So cute. You just want to make sure if you're misty, if your guides move, that you're always making sure you tuck it back into the corner. It's just clinging to the stamp because we're using those pigment inks. So it tends to pull a little bit. This time I think we'll do a softer scarf. Let's do a little spun sugar. Or this is going to be his hat. We'll do a little spun sugar. Oh, this is regular. Regular distress, not oxide. Whoops. Spun sugar. Try again. It's been a long day. So we'll do a little spun sugar here. So pretty. And then we'll do the detail with Kitsch Flamingo. So Pamela says she got hers last year. So I'm going to guess that that's when I got mine too. So see, not too bad. But again, I buy all the snowmen, all the snowflakes, and all the mermaids. I love that pumice stone, spun sugar, Kitsch Flamingo together. I could do the scarf in the same colors too if you wanted to. Don't have to always do a bajillion different colors, but for the sake of demoing different color combos, we're gonna do the scarf a different color. So this time, I think what I'll do, let's do tumbled glass. And then I'll keep this out. Oh no, the other colors were for the pom-pom. Let's do, I feel like Mermaid Lagoon might be too bright. Let's do a little Salty Ocean. Ooh, so pretty. Love it. Love it, love it. Right? We'll do the little pom-pom. That's going to be, I have to keep thinking of the color combos. I've done so many. Spun sugar. And then we'll do the detail of that with Kitsch Flamingo. Hopefully you guys can see. I feel like that's a little piece of ink. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see, though, again, just setting up these templates, you could go to town and just make a bajillion snowmen, right? It's exactly what we want in our lives, is a bajillion snowmen. So I'm going to add the detail to the hat. And then I'm going to add his cutie little face. Right? And then we will add his cutie little nose. Ah, Pamela said 2019. See, I had a feeling I might have had him longer. Oh, now all my secrets are coming out, Pamela. He needed some love. It was time, right? All right. So there we go. Look at that. 3 little snowmen, all different colors. Now, if I was coloring with Copics, this would have taken way longer. But look how cute. Super cute. Love it. Love it. All right, we're going to set these aside, and I just wanted to explain to you guys how I did my backgrounds. All right. Got 3 different, kind of different backgrounds here. So I use Distress watercolor cardstock, which now that we have Distress white heavy stock, Distress watercolor cardstock is now my second most favorite paper to use. It's a really nice watercolor paper. I love that it has a smooth side and a textured side. I don't know if that's going to show up or not. But I love that it's a true white. Excuse me. And I also love that the price point is not too pricey. Excuse me. I used to purchase my watercolor pads, you know, just at the big box stores when there was a coupon or whatever. But what was happening is in my room, I just had all these different kinds of watercolor paper. They would all react differently and act differently, react and act. And so I just was like, no, I want consistency. And especially since I obviously teach classes and then I sometimes, you know, provide kits, I wanted everybody to have a consistent outcome. So basically, that's why I love distress watercolor cardstock, because I get that consistent outcome. So I'm just going to kind of figure out which snowman's going to go with what, only because it might change up what color I do as a background. So I'm going to have a horizontal card, a vertical card, and then this vertical card where I've already gold embossed the sentiment ahead of time. So the way that I'm going to watercolor tonight is I'm going to use distress inks, which I know you guys are probably not that surprised because that's pretty much my most favorite way of watercoloring. But I'm actually going to use the reinkers. This is regular distress ink, and it's the reinkers. And the reason why I'm using the reinkers is so I get a really nice, intense color without having to cram my ink pad onto my craft sheet so much to get a lot of ink. All right. This is just a number 8 round brush. It's no fancy brush at all. And I've already cut myself a stitched hillside, and I'm just going to kind of keep it in mind where that is, just knowing I don't have to go all the way to the bottom. I have a cup of water here off to the side. I don't know if you guys really need to see the water, but it's there. And so I'm going to go into the reinker with a wet brush, and you guys can see right away how intense that color is. It's really, really nice and intense. So the way I'm going to start this watercolor background is I'm actually just laying some water down first, which I know you can't really see. And then I'll go into it with a wet brush with ink on it. And I'll be able to move the color around to where the water was. You can also spread it farther past the water if you would like. I like to start with water to just get some movement, so you're not kind of dry brushing it onto your background. And depending on how intense you want the color to be, less water will make it a really light background. Sorry, more water will make it a really light background. Less water will make it a more intense background. And for this one, I just started to fill in most of the bottom, but then I just want to kind of move up and do a little bit of like an organic shape where we'll still have some white space showing. So I'm just starting to move the color around. Really no rhyme or reason, just not wanting it to look uniform. I wanted this one to be a lot of color, but leaving a little bit of white space, just to have that yummy, inky edge. I love a good watercolored edge. So I'm just bringing some more ink in to make the color darker. And again, it's just really so much less work when you're using a little drop from the reinker instead of your ink pad. Just going to kind of manipulate this edge a little bit with a wet brush. Remember, distress inks react with water. So leaving pools of water when your ink starts to dry, it can do some really fun, yummy, inky things. And yes, that's technical. Inky things. See how pretty? So I'm going to just zap this with the heat tool a little bit just to get the drying to start. And then I'm going to set it aside and we will move on to the next background. How's everybody doing? Good? Did we have a good week? I don't know. I'm kind of mad at Mother Nature right now. We've had really warm, sunny work days and cool, rainy weekends. So I work for myself and I technically could enjoy a free day on the weekday, but I want to go to the beach with Chris and not, not be there by myself, right? All right, so I'm going to just set this aside. We'll do a little bit more to that in a bit. So now for this guy right here, we are going to have this really long hillside. It's going to be our horizontal card. And what I'm going to use for this one is Salvage Patina. Yay, thank you, Annette. Again, a little bit goes a long way. You'll see I actually have quite a bit of peacock feathers left up here. I was a little wasteful there. You don't need a lot of re-inker. A little bit goes a long, long way. All right, so for this technique, I'm still going to do water down first. You don't always have to do this again. I just like to start to get the ink moving. And then I'll go into it with an inky wet brush. I love watching the ink move. It's so, so pretty. And my goal for this one is to have it be a little dark towards the bottom, which Salvage Patina isn't as dark as Peacock Feathers, but have the ink be pretty intense down here. And then I'm going to feather it up to lighterness up into the sky. That's my goal. That's my story in my head, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm going in with a lot of water right now. And you can even pull some of that ink up that's already on your cardstock. And again, I'm always just kind of moving the shape around. I don't want it to look like, a perfect shape. I always have cat hair involved. Oh boy. Always, always. And I'm okay with it. Right. And now my brush is just wet, no ink. And I'm again pushing up whatever ink I have on my paper. So it's getting lighter and lighter as I move up the paper. And that's kind of my goal. I'm just going to put a little bit more down here, dark. And I just want to kind of check the height of it. I think it's going to be good. I just want to make sure he's going to have color all around him, which he is. So now I'm going to start to heat set this. We're also going to be adding some snowflakes to these guys. It was so nice to see the sun today, huh, Kathy? Kathy and Pamela both live in Massachusetts, so they feel my pain. It's been raining all day here in Michigan, lots of flooding. Ugh. I don't know what's going on. I hate that when it seems like it's going to rain, so you don't want to go to the beach or the pool. Like, that's kind of where Chris and I are tomorrow. Like, I don't mind sitting at the beach when it's cloudy and warm. I actually quite enjoy it. It's relaxing. But I don't want to get there and then just have it start raining. So we've got to figure out what we're doing. I'm glad I'm not alone with the pet hair. What happens is, like, again, I'll empty my cup of water and it will stay by the sink for a while. So some cat hairs get in there, and then I fill it up with water again, and it's all good. Yeah, that'll look cute. So again, I just liked having it go up into soft color. Okay. We'll set that one aside. And then we've got one more. And for this one, I actually already gold embossed a sentiment on there for this one. And for this one, I'm going to use chipped sapphire. And blueprint sketch. Now, Tim Holtz and Ranger do have little ink palettes, which I have one. I just don't know where it is right now. But you could put some drops into the ink palette, and then you're not wasting like this extra ink that I'm now not going to use, right? So my goal with this one is I want to do chipped sapphire concentrated around him so it's nice and dark. And then I'm going to do blueprint sketch on the outer edge. So I just kind of wanted to know how much chipped sapphire I was going to do. You can see this is super scientific, right, guys? Like, really hard to do. I do want to make sure I work on this line before it becomes a permanent line. You can definitely do watercolor backgrounds with oxides, Erin. It is going to just react differently because of that pigment property. And because of the pigment property, the inks are more opaque. So you're not going to get as much of the translucent look that you're getting with the regular distress inks. But you most certainly can play with the oxides as well. And I have done watercoloring with oxides. I feel like I have a video here on YouTube with that. I know for sure I have some blog posts where I've watercolored with oxides. Yeah, interrupting the tropical vibe, Kelly, for sure. Those of us that were in class, we could just pretend, right? So now I'm going to go in with blueprint sketch on the edge here. I'm going to lay some of the color down first, and then I will work on blending between the two colors. Looks like I'm making a very moody rainbow right now. Like summer mood. Summer 2021 right here. Moody. Talking about weather. All right. And now I'm going to go in with a fairly wet brush and just kind of move and squiggle. It's a technical term here. Squiggle between the two colors. And the inks are going to move around and blend together. I hope you guys are seeing how this is not difficult at all. And that's what I wanted to share. Again, if you wanted to make a stack of these, you could sit down and just watercolor a bunch of backgrounds like this. I find this actually really very relaxing. And I'm trying to get a little bit of that organic edge without filling in all of the cardstock. I want to leave some white. So pretty. And now I'm going to heat set this. Oh, that's fun, Kathy. Yeah, Sunday I think it's supposed to be the yuckiest day. Yeah, Erin, check out my YouTube channel first. If you send me an email to Erin, I'm happy to look on my blog for you. I'd probably find it a little faster, and I'm happy to share links. So again, just go to shirkus.com and you can send me an email. I love when the water does fun, cool little textures like that. Of course, my little line is showing up, and that's going to bother me. So I'm going to try to get rid of that. Just add some more ink, right? Not too worried what the bottom looks like, remember, because we've got that stitched hillside to add in there. You can see, of course, when you're using a watercolor cardstock, you can pretty much keep playing and playing and playing with the layers and the water. Don't be afraid to play. Similar if you color with Copics, if you're using a really good cardstock for Copics, you can keep playing and playing and playing as well. All right, let's get some water in here, just kind of move my lines around. Super moody. I love it. It's like a winter sky for sure. All right. Jackie, who's also from Massachusetts. We got lots of Massachusetts peeps in the room tonight. Jackie says I'm 72 and haven't read 100 books. I love it. I love reading too, and it's actually funny, like last summer and the summer before, I do a lot of reading, usually at the beach. I just couldn't get into it. I was just more into just like shutting my brain off. But this summer, I finally got going on a book, and now no beach time. It's crazy. All right. I love this one. Super moody. This one doesn't look like much yet, but once we get it made into a card and we get some snowflakes on there, they're going to look awesome. So let me just set these aside real quick. I want to sop up this ink. Again, if I was crafting on my own, I'd probably just make some more backgrounds. Actually, now that I'm adding this water to it, I might just smear some watercolor cardstock into it and quickly make some backgrounds so we don't waste it completely. Just quick. Ooh, yeah. Right, guys? Love it. All right. I think we're good with just two because it's all becoming one color. So let me just quickly zap these so the ink will stop moving, and I'll clean up the rest. Hi, Emma. Oh, my moody one looks like a geode. Hi, Melissa. Hey, guys. Thanks for hopping on. If you missed the beginning, the replay will be available. I'm pretty sure YouTube is similar to Facebook. It'll be available fairly quickly after I'm done with my live. You missed my tips and tricks for layer stamping in an efficient manner. These are just my sop ups because I didn't want to waste my ink. All right. Just wanted to get them dry enough so they weren't going to make a mess when I set them aside here. We'll see what those turn into another day, right? All right, so now what I want to do is add some snowflakes. So I first tried using white distress paint. That didn't work. It worked, but it was really subtle, and I wanted my snowflakes to be a little bit more intense. And I'm going to move my water out of the way too. So then I was like, oh, well, what can I use? What do I have? I was like, oh, I could use gesso. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually try Dina's white gloss spray. So I'm going to just shake this up. There is a little ball in there. Ah, no worries, Emma. All right. And then I'm just opening up the actual screw cap. I'm not going to spray it. And I'm just going to pour out a little bit of this gloss spray. Using the same paintbrush that I just used to paint with. You want kind of a fairly big brush that you can get a lot of ink into here. And then I'm just going to go around and tap. Oh, yeah. No rhyme or reason, just go with it. Be happy with whatever happens. Right? This dark background just loves a good snow flurry. Oh, I thought of one more thing we're going to have to watercolor real quick. So we've got super cute snowflakes. I'm going to just set these aside and see how dry they will get without having to heat set them. And I'm just going to wipe my table off. My studio table is glass, so a lot of the times there's a lot of techniques that I do directly on the glass. Now you can see the gloss spray is not wiping up. I found just using, and I won't do it tonight, just using like a scraper tool, you can just scrape the chips up really quick and easy. Just like so. But again, not going to do it right now while you guys are watching me because that's boring. All right, the other thing I needed to quickly do was add a little bit of pink to this watercolor paper because I'm going to cut out the word peace. Last time I used picked raspberry. This time I'm going to use Kitsch Flamingo. So let me get my brush back over here. Thought we were done with the water, but not quite yet. So no rhyme or reason to this either because we're just going to die cut from it. So getting a little bit of variation in there will be pretty. Go ahead and heat set this, and then I just want to add some water droplets to it. So I'll do that in just a second. Oh my gosh, Jen. A tornado yesterday. I hope you're okay. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Mother Nature has definitely been in a mood these past few months all across North America. Ooh, that Kitsch Flamingo. Such a pretty pink. So now that this is mostly dry, I'm going to just splatter a little water droplets. And then give it a minute to react. You can see how it is reacting with the water. And then I'm just going to pick that water up so we get some fun little water droplets. Clean up my ink. And now I am just going to quickly die cut the word peace out of this. Get the other pieces cut out. But what's fun about this is just to remember if you need a matching paper, right, and you have a lot of ink pads, you're good to go. Yeah, Kitsch Flamingo is so pretty. Actually turn this. So pretty, so bright, and I just love it. Love it, love it. All right. And what's cool about this is just having those little bit of droplets here and there just really adds some nice texture to that. I love it. All right, so now let's get into some glittering, shocker, and assembling. So I'm going to start glittering. That way our snow droplets can dry a little bit longer. I can always zap them with the heat tool if I want to, but we'll give it some more time to dry. I'm going to use the Quickie glue pen and the Prisma glitter. And there's really no right or wrong way to what you glitter. In this instance, I'm going to do his pom-pom and his whole scarf. Just scribbling on that Quickie glue pen. Right? Glitter all the things. Then for this guy right here, I'm going to do the little stripes on the hat. Add a little detail. The pom-pom. And we'll do all of the mittens. Right? Love it, love it. And then, let's see, the third little guy. Let's do just the scarf. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot make a holiday card without glitter. Now, I use glitter on a lot of my other cards too, but holiday cards, man oh man, gotta have glitter. Gotta have it. All right, super cute. So now we are going to get to some assembly. Let me just check our snowflakes. Yeah, dry. That gloss spray actually dries really quickly. Like I was noticing even just trying to wipe it off my desk. Perfect. All right. So we'll start with this guy right here since he's in front of me. So what I did was I popped up the hillsides. I was like, why is that stitched weird? I popped up the hillsides and the snowman. We learned today in class to pop up all the things. Normally I use 3M foam tape, but I'm using up these squares that I have. So yeah, I've been going a little crazy with them. Glitter all the things. Gotta do it. Hey, if there's a sticker that says glitter all the things, then that's the mantra to have. I'm going to just add this right here. And then I'm trying to remember, I think it was this guy, right? This guy. Sure. All right, so he's going to go here, but our little piece is going to go over here too. So I'm going to use just a little bit of glue tube to attach the pink piece to the gold piece. Oh yeah, pink and teal are the new red and green for sure. I actually, if you follow me, I love to use non-traditional colors for my holiday cards. Very rarely do I use red and green. And if I do, it's usually like lime green and red. The background of this color, the color of this background is salvaged patina, Melissa. Oh, there you go, Lee. I already have the stickers in my shop, and I say it in every single class that I teach. Glitter all the things. So I pretty much just have to go back to every card I've ever posted and add that hashtag. So I'm just attaching piece. Got a little crazy with the glue tube. Just going to go in. I like to go in with my tweezers if any glue oozes out and just start to pick it up. Oh yeah, Jen. Oh, Jen. It's been a long day. Sorry, guys. I got excited about glittering all the things, which I might just glitter this sentiment so it'll look better. We'll see. Normally, I'm not worried about the glue oozing out, but because this is metallic cardstock, that's what I'm worried about. But we'll see. We're going to work with it. It's all good, right? So now I'm going to add some pop dots to this guy. I like to keep the bottom of him no pop dots because he's going to overlap the hillside. You're welcome. Could not share cards without using salvage patina, which is my new love. And we've got piece. I was trying to tuck the piece under him, but it wasn't looking right, so I actually end up going over him. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue tube to the left side of the P, because that's going to be the part that overlaps him. Yeah, what I'm going to do is, when I look at this card tomorrow, if the glue looks like it's a hot mess because it got on the metallic, I will add glitter. But I'm going to let it be and look at it in the morning. Then I have this cute little banner that was part of the set that I stamped Love and Joy. So we're going to add that in. Oops. If I'm popping something up, but it's going to overlap something, I always add just a little glue tube to wherever it's going to overlap, just to kind of also help it stay in place. There we go. Super cute. I love this subtle background. I just think it's so pretty. So pretty. All right, then we have this guy right here. Looking for the hillside for him. Oh, here it is. He's the one that I pre-embossed a sentiment. So we'll go ahead and pop up all the things. Ooh, that's a good idea, Deanna. I will look for my adhesive eraser. Thank you for mentioning that. And I honestly sometimes use my Tombow sand eraser too. So, but I'll look for my adhesive eraser. That's also partially why I said I'll look at it in the morning. It's been a long day teaching and I'm not thinking as clearly. So I figured I might come up with a bright idea tomorrow. Work it, chunky glitter. Work it, work it. Those of you that were in class with me earlier, I want to just note that I'm still using the little dish to put my little bits in. I'm being very good. Normally I'm flinging them off camera, so I just want to point out I've been doing that all day. Look at how cool. I love this moody background. Love it, love it, love it. And then we've got our third one. I already pre-embossed the sentiment on this one, which is a really fun thing to do because I don't think I mentioned it, but the watercolor wash resists, that embossing resists the watercolor. So again, if you were making a stack of holiday cards, you could go ahead and pre-emboss a bunch of sentiments, do assembly line, pre-emboss a bunch of sentiments, watercolor wash the backgrounds, stamp all your snowmen, cut all your hillsides. Really, really simple to do a bunch of these cards, honestly, if you wanted to mass produce. Maybe for coworkers, or maybe you donate them to a local nursing home, what have you. Yeah, I love that dark background. I like it more than my original one. I was in a real moody mood when I did it tonight. I was thinking about another weekend of rain. That was why. I was more moody. And there we go. There's our third one. So look at this, guys. 3 more Get Crackin' on Christmas cards. So fun to go along with my other 3 that I posted yesterday. Yeah, guys, look at that. I was definitely in a mood. Same exact colors right here. Can you believe it? But yeah, so fun, right? 6 cards ready for the holidays. Did I miss any questions? So if you are inspired to create any holiday cards early now, and you post them over on social media, make sure you're using the hashtag #GetCracking on Christmas. I would love, 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 love to see what you're creating. Remember, I have a full blog post where I link the supplies that I used tonight. So if you're Genabled and would like to purchase anything, you can use those links. And also, even if you're not Genabled, definitely go check out my blog post, because remember, I have 2 giveaways that I'm offering, and then my crafty friends that post for Get Crackin' on Christmas, they all have giveaways as well. So a lot of fun things to be had, and yeah, super fun. So I will be back. I always post my Get Crackin' on Christmas cards the third Thursday of August, which I'm now questioning if I'm on a staycation. We'll figure it out. But third Thursday of August is Get Crackin' on Christmas. And then I always try to do the live here on YouTube around that Thursday. So obviously tonight's Friday night. So I try to do it close to that Thursday. I hope you guys will join me next month, and I hope you